Alright guys, today we're going to be doing a little bit of brake line repair. One of my least favorite types of brake work, but we got to get it done. It's my mom's car. So I'm going to go ahead and get the car jacked up and show you what we're working with. Alright guys, so today what we're working with is a 2007 Ford Taurus. And about 6 months ago, back in the springtime, I did a repair on it. Let me turn this light on here. I did a brake line repair on it. You can kind of see where the good one is. And I also want to point out while the camera's back here that you can kind of eventually get to a point where there's not really any rust on the line. So I'm probably going to cut it. I don't know. I don't want to go too far back, but I think I'll probably cut it right around here, because that's like right in front of the main rust. I mean, that's extremely rusty there, and it has blown out. So like I said, about 6 months ago I did that other one, and we got it hooked up here. Oh shit, I forgot about that, having to cut that insulation off a little bit. That was nice and fun to do. So we're gonna have to get a tool and probably cut this off in a similar spot, because it's definitely rusted all the way through. So I'm gonna try to probably cut it here in the same spot there. And then the new line's probably going to have to be just a tad bit longer than the old one was, just due to how far the rust goes back. But that's what we're working with here right now. Basically doing the same repair all over again. And got my little brake tool kit here. First thing I'm going to do is use this guy here and put it around those couple spots there where I said I was going to cut it, and I'm going to get that line cut off. So once I do that, I'll be right back and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so we're going to go through this step by step here. First thing I did was I popped the little plastic retainer deal off of the underside of the chassis. And that gives me a lot more movement in this line here. And I believe that somewhere along here, maybe not, but I think there might be another connector somewhere that'll give us some space. But essentially I did that. I got this down a little bit. You can kind of see that it comes down quite a bit more than it did, and that'll make it a little easier to cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so there was another clip right there that I took out. So there's one, there's the little tool there, there's the second one. And that made it where this thing comes down quite a bit. I got this little tool on there, and you tighten that up as good as you can, and then you're going to kind of spin it around a few times, and then you're going to have to tighten it some more, and then spin it some more, and then eventually it's going to cut that line off. Alright, got her off of there. Let's see where I cut it. Pretty much just gotta keep spinning it. That little blade in there will eventually get it cut off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the front end. I should have enough access up here. That insulator thing's a big pain to get cut around, but I should be able to make it happen. And I'll show you what the whole line looks like. It's a different day and a different hour, but we got them parts that we need for this brake line. We got the whole line here, and then we got a couple connectors there. Alright, so we got that line pulled down a little so we can get some more access to it. We got that nut on there, got our flare tool on. We got this sticking out about the same as the adapter. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the first part of the flare on the back side of the line. Alright, so we got our flare there. Looks decent enough, I'd say. The nut is staying on, and it seems like it's sealing up in there just right, so I'm gonna roll with that one. Then we got the insulation off of this one here, so now I'm gonna be flaring that one next. This one might be a little bit more of a pain in the ass to get down. We'll just have to see. I guess that's not too bad. And then right here there's another clip. If I have to, I can take that 8mm out. I might do that actually. Alright, so now after a couple days later and getting the wrong shit a couple times, I finally have nuts on here with flares that are gonna work out, I believe. That's good to go. I got a line here with the same type of male fittings, and then I got these female connectors that I'm gonna put in between them, and we should finally be done with this damn thing. I'll just be completely honest with you guys. This is only the second time that I've ever done a brake line replacement, and the first time was on this very same car, 2007 Ford Taurus, about 6 months ago. And honestly, it seemed like it went a lot more smoothly last time. I kept getting the wrong shit for some reason this time, but we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this up and see what it looks like. So now I've got it on there. Got it connected up here. Runs all the way back. Let me get you lit up there. All the way back to here. And then I think we're gonna be good now. So I'm gonna go ahead and top off the brake fluid, and hopefully it doesn't leak. Alright, and now we're gonna go ahead and bleed all of the air out of the line, and hopefully there's no leaks. Alright, so I finally got her done. Got it connected on the front. Probably not routed the best around that parking brake cable, but whatever. It's clipped in right there. Connected here. Clipped in back there. And I got a little story about this coming up after this, so stay tuned. Alright, so quick recap on the brake line situation. It took me about 4 different days of working on it to finally get it finished. The first day all I did was cut it off, so that was no big deal. I didn't have the part yet or anything. The next time I went and got the part, but the fittings that I got did not match up. They were standard and metric thread. I guess I didn't pay attention to that when I grabbed the parts. So the third time I went up there, got the correct threads, but ended up having the wrong fittings completely. I was trying to put a female connector on the lines that were still on the car, and then there was a male connector on the new line, and I was thinking that was gonna fit, but then I looked at the other one that I did about 6 months ago and realized they used one of those brake line unions where there's a male end on both sides and there's a little sleeve in the middle that they tighten up to. And so I got the correct thing, and then like the 4th time I went out to try to work on it. Now granted, this is my mom's car, it's sitting in my driveway, I'm working on it in my spare time. You know, it's not like it was some urgent issue of a customer car or anything like that. This is just kind of whenever I have the time to mess with it. But anyway, I put it all together, it started leaking, and I thought that maybe the flares I did were bad, so I redid those. It started leaking again, so I wasn't really sure what the hell was going on, but I ended up just tightening the lines really, really good. I would tighten them up tighten them some more, tighten them some more, and I guess the flares finally seated properly and they finally were able to seal because it's no longer leaking. I am going to check it again in a couple days just to see if there's any drips or anything like that, but as of right now we've got solid brake pressure and the vehicle is drivable again. This is only the second time I ever did a brake line, and it was definitely much more of a pain in the ass than the first time around. I'm sure I'll be doing those again in the future, and definitely a few learning lessons on this one. Mainly get the right stuff the first time, and sometimes you just got to tighten it up a little more than you think you need to, and it should seal up for you. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and there will be plenty more to come. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.